This guy's fucking shaking because he knows he's so full of shit.
Right on.
Oh, is he supposed to? Oh, sorry. No, I didn't know I was supposed to add him yet. Oh, hang on. Fuck this guy. There we go. I think we got a Gene Bean in the house. Let me see. Let me make sure he's on here. Oh, Gino. Oh, Gino's in charge. Oh, it's his Zoom meeting. Looks like he's in fucking charge around here. Let's see. Let me make sure we have everything. Can you hear me? All right. I checked all my audio. I'm pretty sure you're muted.
How about now?
Ah, there he is. Let me see.
Now, dude, I'm sorry. I gotta take a deep breath because it's just fucking horse shit. I just had 2 Zoom meetings in the past. Like, I never use Zoom, and my computer forget it. Blah, blah. Hey, buddy.
What's going on, pal? How are you?
Too large here. I look like a Klingon, and I'm taking over your ship. What the fuck is this?
No, I'm glad to finally have you on, man. I'll be honest with you. So I'm a very bad communicator. And, I'm one of those that, like, I'll text somebody and be like, hey, you want to do Monday night, 10 o'clock? Boom, done deal, great. And then you, to your credit, you immediately texted me like 20 minutes later and was like, hey, man, I know I was going to do it, but I'm giving you the notice right away. I got a gig. But I'm one of those where I'm like, cool, locked in, cool. I don't need to check shit. And I just didn't check it, so then it was great.
You're like me, you don't give a fuck. Like, if someone cancels last minute, you're like, okay. You get it, like, honest to God, it's like, a buddy of mine reaches out and he's like, hey, I'm in town. I'm like, let's go get drinks. I'm like, all right. We went to this bar. I'll give it a shameless plug. It's called Offside New York. We stream there Thursday night. We do a football show. They do a comedy night there Monday night. It's like open night. I'm like, let's just go there. Fucking see if we can get on. We'll get a drink. And of course the show gets canceled. It's Monday night. So we just end up going out and getting bombed. And I'm like, as I'm getting bombed, I'm like, he knows I'm not, and I'm getting texts from you like, all right, so I'm sending you the link. I'm like, no, read your, so yeah, but you didn't give a fuck. You're like me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't give a fuck, but it was just funny because, like, I was like, yeah, guys, we got Gino tonight, baby. And then you texted me during the show, and you're like, did you check your text? And I'm like, so even some of the listeners were just like, here we fucking go, Gino being unreliable. So I'm scrolling on the air, and I scroll up, and I'm like, oh, no, this is 100% on me. I fucking, because it's, again, as soon as somebody's like, all right, Monday night, 10 o'clock, cool, I don't want to hear from you again until Monday, 10 o'clock. I don't talk to anyone. So how you been, man?
Dude, nothing that isn't, I mean, I guess you don't follow the dabbleverse.
Oh, I do. I
seem to be obsessed with me. You should know everything about me by these fucking idiots, you know?
I admit that the dabbleverse is my guilty pleasure. Look, first of all, me and Royce and Carl started the dabbleverse. So I don't want to hear anyone else getting credit. That was Who Are These Podcasts and Revenge of the Cis were the first shows to just start ripping on John. And then it became a genre. And then we got bored with it, like we do, like these people don't seem to be. And then it just became more John stuff, more John. And we're like, yeah, I mean, if he does something like really fucking ridiculous, like a roach crawls on his shoulder during a stream, yeah, we'll cover it. That's funny. But then it just became this like A-log show where they just watch him all day and they're like, oh my God, count how many Coors Lights he's drinking. And you're like, all right, I mean, John sucks, but let's all calm down a little bit.
It was a guilty pleasure of mine, and then it's just like, I can't take it anymore. Because they're all like they're not normal people. they're all criminals. They're all psychos. They literally make stuff up. Like Chad Zumock is the one that I talked about the other day. Oh my God, he blew up. I'm like, Chad, I was to get you caught up. Of course, Compound Media shut down, and I'm hanging out with some old buddies. And we go to the bar across the street.
I saw the video of you breaking and entering. I believe it was felonious burglary and breaking and entering. I think they're going to get you on home invasion charges. If it's a mixed use property and somebody's got an apartment in there, you might get a home invasion charge.
More like homo invasion, am I right?
But I love how these people, every time you do a minor thing, they're like, Gino's going to prison. And you're like, am I really?
And they're all people who have nearly been or have been to prison. Mm-hmm. That's what gets me nuts. Like you know the steel toe stuff. Chad's the one like, oh, this was the last straw for me. Chad's like, my sources tell me TM Zumock. It's like, are you an 8th grade girl? Do you have a cunt? What the fuck? It's like, you, Chad, you've stolen credit cards from people. And you're like, oh, no. You fucking were charged with let me tell you something. I'm stupid, but when any time in this world when someone goes, well, all I got were charges for menacing my ex-girlfriend, Lord knows what you did. And Lord knows what you paid a lawyer to get it knocked down to menacing. You understand? Lord knows what you did when you had 38 fucking stolen credits. You're like, and Lord knows what you did when you got a DUI that made you lose your job. You're like, no, I just fell asleep and the car rolled into a tree. All these things. And now you're literally, and Lord knows how you got away with accusing someone of beating you up, saying this is Cunha country, while you show up with grease on your face from stealing a catalytic converter. And then you do the, if I do a different lie, they'll believe the second lie, because who would lie twice? A piece of shit like Chad. God, I love Rumble. You know what I mean, dude?
Oh, yeah. Let's make sure. Hang on. Rumble exclusive starts now, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry, Twitch. Sorry, Twitch and Odyssey and Kick.
I was listening to the beginning of the show, and the only thing that made me laugh harder was, and when Gino's on, we're going straight to Rumble, was, I got this parlay down, the Istanbul soccer club covered. What is wrong with you?
Are you kidding me? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with me is the fucking Houston Rockets lost 110 to 105, so fuck that parlay anyway.
But you didn't want to sleep. You wouldn't have slept waiting for the Germany game tomorrow, dude.
No, I would have been all right. It's because it was only $20. Yeah, it's like a $750 win, but it's $20. I'm still going to go to bed. It's like I either lose or I gain 20. Now, the good news is the Houston Rockets blew it, so I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. But it's okay. No, I'm a degenerate, actually, and the audience agrees, is the basketball, football, that's fine. What I bet on now is tennis. And that is degenerate. Oh, that is some degenerate shit, my friend. When you're hanging out in a Discord with other people that bet tennis, they're all the worst types of piece of shit on the planet. That's because tennis is always happening. So, they just do a tournament, then everyone gets on a plane and they go to fucking Japan and they do another tournament. Then they get on a plane and go to California. It's always a new tournament. And they never get injured. So, yeah, it's just always ongoing. But back to the Chad thing, because Chad fascinates me. Because I've had a few run-ins with Chad, and they've always been a little odd. And this is where it ties into the Aaron thing, because Aaron is, all right, so Aaron was a guy that everyone at ROTC hated. They all hated him, right? And every time I would come into work, people would go, yeah, Aaron stole another bit of ours, or he's doing one of our things, or he's, and I would just come in and be like, he's not a bad guy. He's just a radio hack. He's fucking harmless, whatever. Right. I was always like, I don't really get as upset as other people did with Aaron. And to this day, Aaron is still going to play it off like, oh, man, obsessed with me much? And it's like, no, your life has been absolute gold for us. So Aaron, I'm annoyed at because years ago, tied into the Zumock thing, when he was having his thing with Zumock, right, he was freaking out. Like, oh, man, he's going after my wife. He sounded like fucking Stuttering John. He's trashing my family, like all that shit. So I'm like, whatever, dude. So I reached out to him because I thought I'll be a nice guy. I was going to be like Charlie Sheen and Lucas. I was going to show him around at school, and then I was going to behind the fucking trailers when we're off set. So, I'm giving him advice, and he's like, yeah, April's going to quit. She can't handle Zumock and this and that. And I said, look, Aaron, I'm going to give you a word of advice, man. I've been on this internet shit a lot longer than anybody else. Royce and I have been around for 9 years. Well, we've been around for fucking 20 years doing this. We've been making money at it for 9. So I'm like, I know a thing or two about the Kiwi Farms shit and that whole sector of the internet you do know. And I'm like, listen, bro, all I can tell you is, I'm like, if you remember Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Chad Zumock, and by the way, to this day, Aaron has a chatter in his chat that's literally a reference to me, where I said, if you can't beat up Chad Zumock when you're playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, he's like Von Kaiser. He's like the third guy you fight in the game. He's not the weakest guy, but he's also not even, he's still in the regional circuit. I'm like, if you can't beat Von Kaiser on the internet now, you're not cut out for this. I wouldn't lean into it. I wouldn't get involved in drama farming and content, because if you can't handle Chad Zumock, if you can't handle the internet at its Chad Zumockiest, you will not be able to deserve it at its Kiwi Farmiest, because they're gonna fucking ruin him.
Yeah, he's the
greatest advice I ever gave Aaron was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I told him, you need to decide if you want a co-host or a wife. And once you've figured that out, then you can make your decision going forward. But these two things cannot reconcile forever. And he didn't listen to me. So of course I've been doing a dance on his grave. It's been hilarious. I love being right.
Yeah,
it's fun.
The thing that galls me about those two is, like, me and my wife, we were nothing but nice to them, and we get sucked into their bullshit. Like, we go out there and in hindsight, like, he was probably using me to try and get like on compound media. Why you'd want to do that? Who gives a fuck? It's like, I don't care. I went out there. I did a show. Went great. We hung out. Great time. A year later, it's like, let's go. We'll go to a football game. And we just hang out like normal fucking people. And then fucking another piece of shit that literally swaps wives for views from Nick Rekieta. Fucking does drugs. All this shit. And then because they're all fucking idiot children. We get a call from the police like, hey, did you have a naked picture? It's like, what? Like, why do you drag me into your shit? And they're like, and then everyone's like, well, Gino's a snitch. He should have defended Aaron. What? Why would I lie for a piece of shit to a cop? Because, and this is what drives me nuts about the dabbleverse. It's all 8th grade cunts living in a fantasy world. They don't live in reality. It drives, and don't get me wrong, I'm a 55-year-old man. That's why I'm like, I can't put up with these fucking pieces of shit.
I will correct the record on a couple things you did get wrong there.
Please.
He did not take you to a football game. That was your engagement gift. Okay, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you.
And second of all, no, people have said that, like, oh, Keanu turned on him and then got Gino to turn on him. And it's like, I watched Keanu turn on him in real time, and it was happening as Aaron was going on the air and just blatantly lying about, like, yeah, I just had a great conversation today with Keanu. She's great. She says I never harmed any women. She's got my back. She said she'll testify for me in court. And then Keanu would be going, I didn't even speak with him today. He texted me this whole thing, and I went, okay. And he's like, see, Keanu's got my back. She knows I didn't do anything. And she's like, I wasn't there. I don't not know either way what happened, you know? Like, the way he would put words in your mouth.
I broke ties with him when he I was doing a show because we've talked about, he calls us up crying, oh, she's really leaving me. Can you do me a favor and fill in Thursday and Gino Friday? And we go, yeah, don't ask him for a penny. He can't fucking afford me considering versus what Cunha's paying. I'm like, yeah, I don't ask him for a penny. And we're doing the show, and every couple months, every couple weeks, he's giving us $200 total. It's like, this is more insulting
they're not getting. Yeah, it's like if you're a waiter and the bill's $20 and they give you like, or it's $18, they give you 20 and they're like, keep the change, and you're like, you don't have to say keep the change. You know what I mean? It's a shitty tip. Don't pat yourself on the back. But I gotta go back to the gift thing because this drives me nuts. I've established. I've got a Aaron Imholt corkboard, like just with names, dates, and I don't
red string.
Yeah, no, but like I have noticed a pattern as I've watched him. And he has this tendency to pass off things he likes as a gift to people. Like, he took you to a Vikings game. You don't even like the Vikings. I don't.
But they were playing my Chargers.
Were they playing the Chargers? Okay, but that's still not. It's still a gift for him. Is my point. Like, did you hear about his Christmas gift for his daughter?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Okay, because I have been consuming Aaron's product for the past couple of months because he is, it's like Ray DeVito. It's just an interesting, like, you want to get him in a room with a bunch of psychologists and just study him, you know? But so his daughter, he's psychotic on so many levels. I don't even know where to start with this. He announced on his show about a month ago, he's excited that he figured out what he wants to get his daughter for Christmas. Now, you know, you'd think, you're not going to just say it on the air what you're going to get her. You don't want to spoil it or whatever. Not only does he say what he got her tickets with him to go see Weird Al Yankovic. She's 10. And the best part is, he's like, and it's great. It's going to be at a casino in June. So he's taking his kid to a casino 6 months after Christmas to see a thing he wants to go see. And then he's like, no, she loves Weird Al. She fucking loves Weird Al. And I'm like, she doesn't love Weird Al, dude. She's 10. She wants to go see some like little Korean boys singing or something, or whatever these fucking kids are into. There's probably some TikTok star that kid would be fucking so freaked out to meet. He's like, we got the meet and greet with Weird Al. I'm like, what a shitty gift. I would have fucking killed my mom if she got that for me growing up.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating, the dabbleverse. But like, then I get in trouble on YouTube because I'm not even a conspiracy theorist. Well, everyone is that does it. But YouTube drives me nuts because, again, I'm spoiled, Mersh. You've been in that studio. Like, that's like, I've been in a studio. I'm old, Mersh. I'll let you know a little secret. Daddy's 55. You know, like it's no. I tell everyone I'm used to doing Sirius XM radio and working on DirecTV with Artie Lang, and showing up in studios with him, and then fucking working with Jesus Christ, Anthony at his studio. Now it's like, well, now you're on YouTube, and when you do well, they give you a little good boy. You said all the right things card, and you can monetize it now, or you can't, and they try and stop you from shitting on them. But the Dabbleverse is the perfect example. As long as you're yelling at each other, as long as you're propagating hate and lies at each other, that's what we want.
People are into it.
Working for us, take 30%. We get 30% of every super chat. And I'm sorry that I sound crazy, because I am. That helps. But it's like, it drives me insane. So when they ban me the second, I'm like, I'm just on Rumble. I don't care. Well, I think I'm white knuckling onto YouTube. I have 2 strikes in the past, in a 2-week span. So I'm just about toast.
Well, you just actually talking to you just reminded me too of like every time me and Royce would go in to do like any kind of like real professional setup, and just how we feel like fucking like goobers when you go into like Gas Digital and you sit down and everybody's like, you want a coffee? Okay, there's your cough button over there, and just take the phones off the table. Everything's all professional, and you're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like everybody's running, getting your coffee, and you're like, this fucking owns. And then you go back to just running OBS in your bedroom. But I got to tell you one thing you're doing wrong on Rumble already.
Everything.
Everything.
But if it's only one, you're making my day.
Well, you're broadcasting from your user account. You need to create a channel. And in your case, I would be the beauty of Rumble is you have a user account. You can make as many channels as you want under the same user account. So since you have a Geno Bisconte one, that's your user account. It's not your channel. Go into your settings. You can create channels. So you can actually create an In Hot Water one separate from like a Gratcast one if you want to do that, separate from a football show one if you want, and they can be separate channels so you can kind of organize better. But that was the only thing you're kind of doing a little bit wrong. But I will tell you this, the guys that are laughing about your 2 strikes, I cannot tell you enough how little they understand how YouTube works. Kevin Brennan is a fucking boomer, all right? If you think you're old and out of touch, he is a fucking boomer. And watching him struggle with technology and like terms of service is amazing. But he's got so many fucking things wrong. One, first of all, and I learned this from your best pal, Pat Dixon. As I saw a clip of him talking about it.
By the way, he's looked good lately. Mm-hmm. He's definitely taking care of himself. Go on.
He looks like Charles Carroll is going through chemo. But no, he had mentioned how Brennan won't have him on the show because that Felicia girl said that, oh, well, he got banned from YouTube. You can't have him on your channel. That's not how any of this fucking works, okay? Nick Fuentes goes on YouTube all the time. Fresh and Fit, all those shows. Alex Jones has been on fucking Tim Pool's show. You don't get banned for having a banned person on your show. You're just not allowed to have another channel. Kevin did the same thing to me. He was like, yeah, didn't you guys get banned or something? Because I was going to go on his show one time, and I was like, yeah, but for like old shit, and who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to cause a fucking I'm not going to just machine gun the fucking N-bomb on your show or anything. He's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we don't show your face or something. And I was like, you know what? Never mind then. Just fuck off then. I'm not even going to do your stupid show. It was when Revenge of the Sis was on a fucking hiatus. I could have pulled my whole audience from 4 to 6 over to his stupid show. But I'm like, no, you know what? Fuck it. Then you just won't get anything. But he doesn't understand. He thinks he's safe right now, and Shuli, same thing. And I like Shuli. I'm not bashing Shuli. I'm just saying a lot of these guys don't understand YouTube. They think they're safe. As long as they play by the rules, YouTube will absolutely fucking rug pull you, even if you don't have 3 strikes. It's happened to many people. They can literally send you an email at any time and go, we found repeated and severe violations of our terms of service. We're taking your channel away. They can just rug pull you. They stole $5,500 from Revenge of the Sis. We never got paid for it because we got kicked out of the YouTube partner program. And we're like, okay, well, we have a $5,500 balance of, Superchats and advertising and shit. We'd like our money. And they're like, no, you have to be accepted into the YouTube partner program to be able to get paid by the YouTube partner program. And we're like, so we're just out that $5,500 unless we want to go to court with Google. So they just never paid us the $5,500. So that rug pull, man, it can happen, dude. And a lot of these guys think they're fucking safe. But what happens with these little communities is they all get in Discord and they all start like texting each other, and they're like, hey, we're all gonna flag Kevin's channel because somebody slipped and said fat 4:38 and 28 seconds PM today. Let's all make sure we timestamp and report. Like, that's all it's going to take. And YouTube does not like drama content. They just don't. They will literally someday get all of these Dabbleverse channels under harassment and bullying, which is the Vegas bullshit. It's the reason why Nightwave's not on fucking YouTube anymore. I kept getting harassment and bullying, but I don't harass and bully anyone. I just make fun of people and call them once in a while.
It's a fun word.
It is a great word.
I talk about it on stage. It's like, no one hates gay people. Just a fun fucking word.
I would say probably, if I were to count all the times in my life I directed it at a legitimately gay person, versus just a friend of mine, that's like, hey, did you go to the game this weekend? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just,
the classic line from The Hangover, paging Dr. That's got nothing to do with gay people.
No,
nothing. It's and of course they took it out of. It's one of the greatest movie lines. Surprised they left in your grandmother got a ring for being in the. I'm surprised they left that one in there, Mersh.
That's actually pretty good. That's a great line, though.
There's so many great lines in that fucking movie.
Dude, we just had the guy from Grandma's Boy on our show. We just had Alan Covert on our show.
Oh, really?
From the star of Grandma's Boy, the guy I worked with Sandler for years. And it was so weird when he came on. We're like, Jesus Christ, he's slumming it. We're like quoting his movies to him. I'm like, man, we're coming off like a bunch of fucking marks right now. Like, it was pretty lame. But yeah, I'm fascinated with the Dabbleverse. I got to admit, I don't really pay close attention to all facets of it. It really just comes down to Aaron. I am obsessed with Aaron. I'm obsessed with the goal. I'm obsessed with the hour. Literally, you've seen the channels that cut him asking for the money out, and it's like 55 minutes of a 3-hour show of him.
Are you kidding?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there are 55-minute long supercuts from each supercuts from one episode. It'll be morning or night, and they'll boil down to about 55 minutes of him bringing up the goal, telling us how much we have left in the goal, telling us how he's going to have to fire people if he doesn't make the goal.
Yeah. It's like, I know, apparently I'm an e-beggar now. Like, how is anyone, either we all are or no one is, but I mean, there's no question that friggin' Aaron is, that's his show. And what's his name said it once, fat-titted Melton. That fucking, that fucking queer.
I can't.
He said, he's like, someone will give him $50. Like, someone will give Aaron $50, and he just says, he doesn't even say thank you. 35 of that. It's like $50, so you get 35, and we're $200 away from our goal. Say thank you, you fucking idiot. Nope. You're not even a goodie beggar.
There's not even an ounce of gratitude. I have a friend of mine, Kevin Scampoli. He's doing his show right now too. He's awesome. But he started covering a lot of this Aaron shit. And he doesn't even cover Aaron. He covers pro wrestling. But even he got sucked into, oh my God, this guy Aaron sucks. And like, he was watching a little bit of that goal talk one night, and somebody was like, he's like, hey, he's like, thanks for the $20, blah, blah, blah. And he goes back to talking about the goal. And Kevin's like, look at this fucking piece of shit. It's like the minute you give him money, he's completely forgotten about it. It's just cool. He doesn't even like appreciate your $20. Like, when these people, dude, I have the best listeners in the fucking world, dude. They send me fucking mugs with my cat's butthole on it. They send me fucking 15-year Redbreast whiskey. Like, these people are fucking unbelievable. And like, they're always being cool and giving me money. And dude, my sister passed away about a month ago.
Ooh, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but I had to go from. We went to Miami. We had a bunch of shit with my Rumble and locals, and that's a whole cake. I can't even. We can't pull that out of the oven yet, because I might legitimately be talking about legal action against Rumble. We'll get to that another time. But we were down there. We were dealing with a bunch of shit at Rumble. You know, my sister died. I had to leave Fort Lauderdale, drive to New York, because I didn't have time to get a plane ticket or anything. And like, I was broke at the time. Like, I got hit with like 6 things at once, and I just didn't have a lot of cash, you know. And dude, the audience just, you know, I didn't do a big fucking Aaron like guilt fest. I gotta fire people, this fucking sucks, get all moody about it. Like, I just kept doing my show and saying, hey, you know what, man, this is gonna be tight, this trip. Like, if you guys can, and people just were low key, just cash app, you know. They were shooting you like, hey man, sorry about you know what I mean, just get some gas, stop off, get some food. And you're like, you know, like, if you do it right and you're not constantly just fucking cracking a whip on these people, It's somebody in the chat said, doesn't Gino deserve a Bad Luck Boys shirt? Oh no, this is the Revenge of the Cis shirt. I do need to send Gino a Bad Luck Boys shirt because I have a cat channel.
A Bad Luck Boys shirt.
Yeah, I'm a cat man like yourself. What's your cat's name?
Her name is Six. She's insane. She's a white calico. I don't know where she is right now.
Is she getting along with Keanu a little better?
No. No. It's insane. Like she'll be nicer one minute, and by nice I just mean not biting her, and then the next she'll just fucking scream at her. But somebody said it once. She's a female calico that I found when I got to stop hitting the desk. I found her when she was 4 days old. I bottle fed her. She basically thinks I birthed her, you know. And female calicos imprint on one owner. And she's nuts about me, but she hates everyone else.
That's hilarious.
And every other cat I've had has been normal. I usually have black. I always have male cats, black or tabby, and they just mirror you. But then again, I think Six is starting to mirror me. She's fiercely loyal to me and insane.
I remember watching that Moving In saga. I was watching Keanu's videos all the time of her just trying everything she could to get this cat to like her, and it was not happy. It was just, and then it would fool her, you know. It'd be all nice, and she'd be like, "Oh, okay, I'll give you a treat." And you're like, "Oh, fuck."
She pinned her in the bathroom one time. She waited till she was showering, and then she stood on the chair and hey, there's Keanu. Hey, baby.
Hi, Kiki. How you doing?
I'm well. Just the other night, she was all cute asleep, and she let me get in the bed. She waited till I fell asleep, and she was sleeping in between us, and I was lying there, and as soon as I started to fall asleep, she just clawed me in the face. She's a monster. I'm trying, but
she's an angel.
She punched me in the face. She waited till I've never seen a cat lie and wait like this.
You've never.
One time Joe Bartnick stayed here. She was half as big, and like she was literally attacking. She hung out on the like, my cabinets don't go all the way up to the roof, so there's like that much space, and she was fucking hanging out there throwing stuff from on top of the cabinets at him. And he's like. I'm like, is she doing it on purpose? He goes, yeah. I'm like, I'm so proud of her. She was using it as a tool and a weapon. And Joe Bartnick is a big motherfucker.
It's so true. Sometimes, and he doesn't know what she's like when he's not here. Sometimes
an angel, Mersh.
Sometimes I feel like she repels from the ceiling. She'll be in the corner of the ceiling.
Yeah.
She hides and lies in wait. I've never seen a cat. Normally, if you just leave a cat alone, they just hide from you. They don't go out of their way.
As opposed to Aaron, who can't wait to lie.
Listen, considering I'm talking to you and Kiki, I should recommend to her that she not bring up ceiling cats. That's a very specific reference that I think some people are going to run wild with. Don't mention ceiling cats, all right?
I don't know this. I don't know ceiling cats.
Oh, you don't know the ceiling cats thing? Okay, so when the Imholtz and the Rekietas were in their polycule, the internet I know, I just love you. I love using it ever since the FTX thing. It's
You're
great.
making fun of it when you say it.
But ever since they had their little hot tub crew, the fans and Melton started speculating that, like, you know, I think the Imholtz are just staying with the Rekietas, and, you know, we think like April's there and all this stuff. So then all of Kiwi Farms started coming up with all these wild theories about what Nick kept staring off, because he would get distracted on his stream and he'd be like, huh? And then he would go back to stuff. So people had two theories. One, it was a corner demon. It was a demon just living in his house in the corner of the room. Or it was ceiling cats. Somebody had proposed maybe he has cats living in a ceiling. So every time he looks off
I had no idea about that.
So when you said, I think she's repelling, I'm like, don't mention ceiling cats.
Jesus.
I had no idea.
I think there's demons in that. Those people are fucking goofy.
Yeah, there were people just kind of fucking with him in the chat all the time, and they'd be like, yo, Nick, you keep getting distracted. You got cats in your ceiling, and what is there, a fucking demon in the corner? Well, turned out there was a demon in the corner. It actually turned out they were right on one of the two theories. And I got to give you props. You're the only person I know who has not taken a side in this. Everyone has been like, because you'll learn, like, this is how the internet is, especially the Kiwi Farms people. Like, for instance, I like Nick Rekieta. I've hung out with Nick Rekieta off the air, nothing to do with shows, clout. collabing. He has in-laws in the fucking, Tampa area. So he comes out once in a while, and a few times he's come out to town. I've been like, yeah, I'll grab a hotel. I'll come out to St. Pete. I'll get fucking loaded with you guys, and we'll have a good time. And he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy, There was no cocaine. He didn't try to get me to fuck his wife. I didn't bring a girlfriend with me at the time. So I guess I just didn't have any of that appeal, because I'm sure it's more of a trade thing. He's not just going to give him his wife. But, we had a great time. So I like Nick. But, this has been it's been interesting kind of finding out stuff that I'm like, wow, I didn't know my boy got down like that. But I will say, liking Nick aside, I don't know April well enough, and I don't know Aaron well enough, but I do know that both of them have done some vile shit. And it's like, and with the internet, it's like, all right, so people decided we hate Rekieta so much that we will blindly side with Aaron no matter what. And then now there's people that hate Aaron so much that they're like, we will blindly overlook every character flaw Patrick Melton has as long as he's getting at Aaron. And we get in this tribalism, man, and there are no more morals. There's no more consistency where there's very few people out there that are going to go, no, fuck all of these people. They're all garbage. Why are you picking a side and going, no, that Aaron's a cool guy. We got to take down Rekieta. And then people are like, nah, Rekieta's cool. We got to take down Aaron. And you're like, why don't you just let them fight it out and just place bets on it like me and lose?
Yeah, I just don't know who raised. I'm old and stubborn and set my ways, but I just look at these. This is why I get myself in trouble, because I just assume everyone's normal, and they're insane. There's between him doing all the shit he did, and since he was the first one out, he's like, I always say it's like they showed up with the arrest warrants with 3, and they're like, oh, we only have 3 arrest warrants, so since Aaron got out first, he's not a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. And then April, meanwhile, is like, oh, yeah, well, we feel, when she sends me a text that says, oh, we feel bad about that picture. We? Yeah. We? What are you still doing there, you stupid twat?
Yeah.
You're all insane people.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
I am still convinced, though, that Aaron dry snitched on him. I don't think he went to the police, but I do think Aaron got in her parents' ear. He got in that pastor's ear. He got in all those people at the church's ear. And it's like, I'm worried about them. Because that's all you have to do to really, you don't have to snitch. You just dry snitch. You just kind of go if you just had this horrible drug problem, and then I don't go to the cops about it, but I just go to Keanu and be like, yeah, I'm worried about Gino, man. He's just doing a lot of coke, and he's out of control. I think he might body, and you get somebody else worked up enough that they're like, I care about this person, and then they call the police. That's still snitching. That's still snitching. You know what I mean? I could go to a gas station and be like, yeah, I know they're selling drugs at a 937 Treetop Lane, and if there's a cop within earshot, sure, technically I didn't snitch. I was talking to the clerk at the gas station, but it's but you knew what you were doing. You know what I mean? He wanted to set fires on his way out, which honestly, I would want to maybe not nowadays because I'm old and there's not enough pussy in the world worth getting worked up over. But you know what I mean? If I'm at that age now where if a chick's like, look, it's over, I'm like, all right. Yeah. Where do you need me to drop you? I'll drop you off wherever you need to go. You know what I mean? I'm not helping you pack. But yeah, I think he kind of had something to do with it. But yeah, you were the only, a lot of people started getting on board with the whole, April's a victim. And that's when I saw you go on that fucking rant, you're like, fuck you. Yeah. Fuck all these fuck me.
Oh, and they all tried to get me banned. I'm like, I'll say it again. I'm like, if she I don't know what went on in her past, but if she doesn't realize still living with a married couple after you got arrested with guns, drugs, if that's not your bottom. Yeah, and this one, stop defending her. She's 29. And I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you something else. This is what always gets me. Women can be abused, but fucking that's fine. But I know a lot of abused women who didn't shit on perfectly innocent people. You know what I mean? April's like, everyone's like, she's abused. So that allows her to be a cunt to everyone else? To people that have been nicer? You're allowed to be a selfish fucking cunt? Well, Gino, I was abused, so I'm going to fucking make your life suck my dick. Don't, because I know you will, because you might get 3 views. You stupid cunt. And everyone's like, oh, poor April. What is she, 11? I wish she'd still be Rumble, am I right? Don't you love Rumble? Don't you love Rumble? I do.
I mean, if she was 11, they would have had to go do the polycule in South Carolina. Stephen Naveed bought 5 coffees. Thank you, buddy. That's $25. And you, sir, are awesome for that. And also one of my favorite Sage Re. We have great fan names here. Sage Re. $40 says, in quote, this is an Aaron quote since you don't know about the goal stuff. Big chunk plays, guys. Come on. That's what he says. He'll say that after you donate to him. He'll go, come on, guys. Big chunk plays. It's like somebody's watching too much football. Starberry, $25. You're awesome as well. Says, hate to kill your boner despite the sexy name. Overweight, late 40s male. It's a play on my last name. Oh, because Starberry donated last night, and I said it sounded like a chick name, and I was like, send me your titties. And all right, don't send me those titties. I have those titties. I see those titties when I get in the shower. I don't need to see more of that. So thank you, buddy. So we're at 75 right now on the coffees. That's the other thing you have to do, Gino. You got to get a fucking coffee thing going, because the fucking money they take out for all these super chats and all these fucking, even when you're on YouTube, you just circumnavigate it by going like, hey, you get super chat, that's fine, but go to this website instead, and Stripe's only going to take 50 cents per transaction, which is remarkably better.
By the way, I have Stripe and locals. How do you get your money out of locals?
You got to connect it to your Stripe.
I did connect my Stripe.
So you have a Stripe, so it should be just auto kicking out to your Stripe.
Oh, I haven't checked my bank, so it just goes right to my bank?
No, it should be sitting in your Stripe. Unless you've set up your Stripe to automatically take like whatever you have and put it in your bank all the time, you might just have locals money sitting on. You have to log into your Stripe and then check, like, there'll be a pull down menu. Like, I have a pull down menu on Stripe. I've got so many goddamn e-beggar scams happening at once that
right.
I have Ko-Fi, I have Buy Me a Coffee, I have locals, I have like my t-shirt stuff. So I have a bunch of fucking different ones, but you should just have one if you have the locals thing. But it's top left, you click it and it should show your whatever you named that account. And then right there at the top left, it should tell you what money you have in it. You should have money sitting in there. I had like...
Well, the locals dashboard, yeah, you go to that and it's like, here's your dashboard, here's your all-time stats, total gross revenue, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, and it should say your USD balance.
That's you.
We did good tonight. We were doing good tonight.
We won.
I know, and they almost lost. They deserved to lose that series. But we're good. We're doing good right now. The Warriors are good. The Pelicans already won, so I'm getting good tonight. We got... as long as the Phoenix Suns, Warriors, yeah, that's great. I'm going to win a lot of money tonight. We did good. The only thing I got fucked on were the Rockets. And I'm telling you, tennis, whoo, it's easy money. It's tournament style. It's always like random. So it's always like, hey, it's this top tier tennis player versus some fucking, ranked 800 bum. Like some 17-year-old girl from Croatia, and you're like, oh yeah, Coco Gauff's gonna kill this fucking poor girl. So I just don't. When I bet on sports, the only thing I really avoid is like playoffs and like World Series shit, where now you're down to like a game where you're like, they could just still win this game, lose this game, and win a series. So when it's down to that, but when it's early regular season sports, when you have like the Chiefs playing the Browns, how do you not pick that money up that's laying on the table?
They're begging you. They're begging you to take it.
But yeah, so I'm glad you came on tonight. I was very enthusiastic. I wanted to originally have you on too on Bear Luck Boys just to talk cats. But did you know my cat channel got demonetized? Twice.
Oh, what?
Twice. My wholesome cat channel that I've never streamed from, never posted a racist diatribe, never.
Jesus. By the way, it says my meeting's only got 1:37 left. Did I do that wrong too?
No, I think it's saying that it's been remaining meeting time. Yeah, what is that about? Does it just self-destruct after 1:25 seconds? I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to end now.
It's going to be terrible. It's going to be frightening.
So I do have to also ask, because I hate this guy. I know you probably don't. Like, yeah, you've made your feelings clear. You don't personally hate him. I personally hate him. I want to if I could single Gavin McInnes with my bare hands, I would.
Oh, please. He's just, you go. What about him?
Well, he's just a smug cunt, and he's very disingenuous.
Yes.
What he did, remember that fake FBI raid he did? That was
yes, I was thinking of that today. That's so funny. It's like he's so hacky.
Did you hear what he did to the Proud Boys? Because a lot of people pretend like he didn't completely fuck over the Proud Boys, but he fucked over the Proud Boys really bad.
When he just stepped down, I was there at the studio the day he came in during COVID and filmed the announcement of his resignation.
Yeah, and meanwhile, there was a guy that was sitting in prison for a couple years whose baby was born while he was in prison, and who he just deserted all those guys. That's not the stepping down thing. Is not what he did. This is the thing that he doesn't want people to remember, and he's always trying to kind of blur the lines. When the Proud Boys got arrested, there was 6 or 7 Proud Boys that got arrested defending Gavin in the streets. Oh, yep, it did. It just cut. Literally just. Let me just call him back. Let's just call him back. We'll call him this time. Now I just have to figure out how to do this again. There he is. There he is. Is he there?
Hey, buddy.
All right. So now,
buddy.
Sorry, I had to put money on my books, but now we're good for another hour, 15 minutes.
I heard all the coins jingling when you went in. I love it, dude. Thank you, buddy.
So the Gavin thing. This is a thing he never wants people to remember, but it was a scummy fucking move. So when the Proud Boys, there was 6 or 7 guys, they got arrested, basically physically defending their God King. And he basically used and abused the Proud Boys' fears. He used them as a fundraising source. He used them for free security. He created his own little cult militia thing and manipulated a lot of young men to do a lot of dumb shit that I'm not saying some of them didn't maybe deserve to get in a little bit of trouble, but, he had them all smeared as white supremacists and fucking ruined in court. The judges were all against him. He brought them to the honeypot known as New York to get them all set up. So what happened was, the Proud Boys, the official Proud Boys themselves, started a GoFundMe for the 6 or 7 guys that had gone to jail, right? While they were doing that whole thing, Gavin decides at the same time, he promoted a few times, save our boys, whatever, blah, blah, blah. At the exact same moment, Gavin decided to start the Save Gavin campaign, where he started raising money because he wanted to sue the SPLC for defamation or whatever the fuck. By the way, a case that he would have never won. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of money. He just wanted to fundraise a bunch of money, pay a bunch of lawyers to generate a bunch of publicity about how he's suing the SPLC and keep himself in the fucking, the news cycle and make himself like this here. But it's maybe you need to hold off on this little fundraising campaign until your boys that, you know what I mean? That pretty much fucked up their lives for you, would actually maybe get them taken care of first. But while they still had to GoFundMe for the defense fund for these guys, he's telling the same audience, but we have the Save Gavin campaign right now. And he just raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't even think he ever sued the SPLC. He's a piece of shit. He is out for one thing, the fucking almighty dollar. He is a sociopath. He is garbage.
Yeah. Well, I would sit with him at the bar and just hang out with him and bullshit, and then he'd go across the street and just shit on me. He does it with everyone, and it's just I've never been I've hung out with you. I've hung out with you, Mersh, at my desk, on your show, at Sullivan's. You're the same fucking guy. These are the kind of people I like hanging out with. Fucking genuine people. Anthony Cumia, fucking thoughts on him aside, same fucking dude. I love the guy. These are people I work with. Genuine fucking people. Garrett and Steve, my producers. But he would just say
Garrett's great.
Things.
I don't know Steve, but I know Garrett's a trip, dude.
Garrett's amazing, and Steve's hilarious, and he couldn't wait to fucking fire all those guys because regardless of what he said, he got too into that character in that moment, and everyone hates him because he's a disingenuous piece of shit. He's fun to drink with, but it's what he just is. He's just gross. It's just, and then he's why wasn't I invited to Gino's wedding? Because you were invited to Chrissy's wedding and didn't give her a penny, you cheap fuck. And why the fuck would I want to drink with that guy?
Did he really not give them a gift? I thought that's a rule. I thought that's a rule. That's a rule at a wedding.
Well, he invoked the I have a year to do it and then just let the year elapse because,
He just launched another GoFundMe, Save Chrissy's Wedding Gift Fund.
Oh, it is what it is, but it's like
fucking Phoenix Suns. We're gonna be okay as long as Sinikova comes through tonight. We're gonna be all right, boys. All right. The reason I played the Jack video, and Frozen, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Frozen, what do you think of this guy's cooking skills? I want to know, Frozen, genuinely, what you think of this guy's cooking skills.
Was cooking on the crane, episode 4. I'm gonna grab my plate. We're gonna season our steak. Just pat dry it, spray some oil, grab my seasonings from the seasoning rack, salt, pepper, garlic.
Also, I don't know why, to get in the TikTok algorithm, this guy decided to do a cooking video and play Cherry Waves by Deftones. That's fine. I guess that's, it's whatever. It's an odd song. I would have played one of the more upbeat, goofy cooking things, like for this, or like some upbeat, like algorithm video. He chose Cherry Waves by Deftones, which, by the way, I don't even know how to describe this. Cherry Waves by the Deftones. It's depressing by the standards of a Deftones song. It's literally a song about being in love and the woman not being in love back, and how you would drown in the ocean for her, and how they would never be willing to even try to jump down there to save you. Deftones do nothing but depressing, horrible songs. Not horrible in the sense, they're great. The Deftones are great. Don't ever fucking bash the Deftones to me. I'll kill Virgie, I'm looking at you. But when you have a band who's known for their most depressing songs ever, and you choose their most depressing of most depressing songs ever to do a cooking video, it feels weird. I don't want to hear Cherry Waves by Deftones. You know what I mean? It just doesn't fit. Anyway, let's go back to this. Sorry.
We're gonna season our steak. Just pat dry it.
This guy's in
oil.
This guy's in a crane above the city.
Grab my seasonings from the seasoning rack. Salt, pepper, garlic, and some lorries. Don't forget your edges. Alright, now I'm gonna prepare my zucchini. Grab a plate. Grab the zucchini from the refrigerator. And now we cut the zucchini. We season it. Oil, salt, black pepper, garlic. Let's grab our stove. Turn it on. Grab our pan. A little bit of oil.
It's a weird song. Jim Edward, no, the bit was literally sex is boring. No, I know the bit about it's free fun for poor people, which that line always made me laugh. Sorry for repeating a thing that resonated with me. You know what? Every time Jim says anything from now on, I'm going to go, okay, Red Bar. Nice take, Red Bar. Hey, Jim. Nice take, dude. Nice take. I like it, Red Bar. Keep it up. You know who you remind me of, Jim? Win by 2 Radio. These city lights.
One more. On the Motorola Moto.
These city lights. These city lights. These city lights.